What's up? It's Jeff, and I got 2 words for y'all. Vroom, vroom. Let me start off by saying this is a review strongly based on context clues. Okay, since Roy's finally accomplished something, he's glowing like a sunny day. As for Dot, it seems like she hasn't been keeping up with her stream now that she's in class, and that may be making her a little bit more anxious not having that extra source of a confidence boost. Nonetheless, we arrive in town, and the spotlight is a Dot light. It's also nice to see the Volt Tacklers cheering her on, since I don't think they did that with Roy or Liko, so it just goes to show how invested they are in Dot's life in the battle with Iono. And our idol, Iono, makes her grand appearance on screen, selling wasabi. The group decides to drop in on her, and Dot gets a bit of a shock when she sees Iono's been hanging out with the Volt Tacklers while the ship's getting fixed. And hopefully they've been spilling all of Dot's dirty secrets to her. Much like the audience, Iono's excited to get this battle started, but not this episode. See, Dot is special, so she gets a 2-parter. And I mean, who doesn't want more Dot? Look at her all flustered. And this battle will be a good one too, because not only will it be a match between influencers, it's going to be a battle between people with a history. So whoever loses, it's going to make it a little more personal. But before the main course of Iono Alfredo, we need some Roy breadsticks to warm up. This also turned out to be a test of Dot's willpower. We find out that despite being a streamer, she's actually pretty camera shy without her armor on. Oh, the irony. Now with Dot out of sorts, Quacker gets easily KO'd. However, if we want to look on the bright side, Dot managed to make Roy look really good. That's impressive in of itself. And despite her opponent's loss, Iono's still pumped up. She gives us a very thorough explanation of what Dot will need to fully complete terrestrialization. Wasabi sauce. To get herself together, Dot's decided to push herself outside of her comfort zone and break the fear of phones on her. And to do that, she decides to go outside. In costume. And we see her be kind of boastful and even a little bit obnoxious to the point where it seems like even Quacker's getting uncomfortable. Maybe because Dot is really leaning into Iono energy and being less of herself. At the same time, who cares about any of that though? Ratings are up. There are some concerns being raised though. Liko's worried Dot's using this suit as a crutch and not addressing the real root of this problem. While bickering a bit, Dot really snaps at them. And these moments always sort of stick out to me since Annie Pokey has gone through great lengths to sanitize its characters. You know, let them have some spice, it's human. Although it's not all gloom and doom once we get Varoom. The majority of Poke cries are pretty unique, but this one is literally someone in the booth going, "Vroom! Vroom!" And that's not a complaint. After wreaking some havoc and terrorizing poor Tink, somehow it manages to get itself stuck inside the costume and takes off parading around the town in it. This costume also cannot be remade. Source, trust me, so Dot has to battle for it. Yeah, she's gotta fight to get that suit back with everyone watching. And it is a pretty paranoid idea because honestly the thought of being in a predicament, practically naked the way Dot is and being filmed, God no. Picking up on how distraught Dot is, Quaxley steps up to her defense. Now, it is a little odd how, I guess, useless he is without Dot's direction, but I see the point they're trying to make. Quacker's relying on Dot, so she has got to get it together. I can't really blame her though, because these people, they look creepy. Just standing there all bug-eyed like that. Although our domestic influencer manages to pull herself together and whip up a strategy. It looks like she used Quaxley's water gun to lure Varoom towards them. Pretty similar actually to the tactic they used with the Orthworm. And you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, because with that final blow, it's curtains. Quacker was able to knock some sense into it, so they were able to see eye to muffler. Also, this whole thing was orchestrated by Iono, I think. That's what I'm going with. Yup, she just threw Dot straight into the lion's den. And not for nothing, because this ended up being a good exercise for her. Plus, look at her fantastic friends protecting the costume for Dot. Feeling grateful, and coupled with some new clarity and humility, Dot apologizes for snapping on them earlier. It's wholesome, although I do expect these snippy moments to become, far and few in between, since you really shouldn't be screaming at your friends, on a bi-weekly basis. Hey, at least she owns up to it. And more importantly, Dot is psyched for her match against Iono, the latter of whom seems to be expecting a good match as well. Pretty neat episode. Dot's not the first character to have a phobia. Misty was scared of bug Pokemon, Iris was scared of ice Pokemon, Lily was scared of all Pokemon. I'm kind of starting to notice a theme here. But camera shy? That's a new one. And I like it because it shows off an internal insecurity rather than an external one. Not to mention, it's a rational one at that. This is sort of just the world we live in now, and being posted in a low state is a real fear people have. What I think is interesting though is Dot was successful. I'd be curious to see a version of this or another episode where she's filmed and fails. It's also a really great thing how these gym battles seem to be serving a larger purpose. For Roy, he was able to battle the champion and later on achieved his first major win. Now Dot, she's grown tremendously before the official match has even started. It just makes it even more appealing than, winning badges for the sake of winning badges. I think it would be fair to give a B.